I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. When it rains, it pours. Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They say no to sleepless night. Will you find me? Hope you find me. I'll be back home soon. When the sun rises, when the sun we're trying to catch me howling at the moon. Trying to catch me howling at the moon. We're trying to catch me howling at the moon. Trying to catch me
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. How's everybody doing today? Let me make sure y'all can hear me before I start ranting and raving and talking. Yeah, special shout out, Brock, for answering that question. Good job, Brock. Hold on, let me see. Okay, y'all can hear me. All right, great. How's everybody doing? Woo, boy. You know, I've got to try to time this thing so that the music stops. So that the music stops right as the countdown ends. As the countdown ends. So that way it's like, boom, perfect. Perfect. So anyway, here we go. What's up, Eternal Supernova Sherry? Sherry, you get the prize for the longest time anyone has ever been in the chat. Y'all give it up for Sherry. I do appreciate that, and thank you for being a channel member. Excuse me. Dang, I had a hot dog earlier today, and why is it still with me? Yeah. Coco Scissorhands, thank you for being a mod extraordinaire and a channel member as well. Thank you very, very much. Pamela, what's going on? Thank you for being a channel member. Ancestral Life Blog, Cutting Up with Terry. Thank you both for being channel members. Jenny Lynn Jones, I'm on top of it. Hey, BP, you on top of it, but you're not a channel member. I need you to fix that. I'm just kidding, but thank you for being here. Amiela, how's it going? Quanda Brown, how's it going? Thank you for being a channel member. My man Brian, what's up, Brian? Thank you for being a channel member. Ruth G, thank you for being a channel member. Lenny, oh, Lenny is here, y'all. hide your bacon. Lania's here. Thank you for being a channel member. You and Ruth both. Purple Pixie, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a channel member. Pagan Prince 55. Greetings and salutations. Mariah. Me and Mariah go back like babies and pass up for y'all. Look, y'all too young for that. What's up, Mariah? How are you? Ace Gift, how are you? Thank you for being a channel member. Barbara Jenkins, thank you for being here and for being a channel member. MWB, how are you? Sean Royale, or is it Sean Royal? I don't know what. I just decided to go fancy with it with Royale. Royale with cheese. What's going on, Sean? How are you? Crystal Howard, how are you? Natalie, what's going on? Mod extraordinaire, swinging the wrench and the hammer. If she can't fix it with the wrench, she'll just bash it on the smithereens. Cuts and Froze Private Barbershop. What's going on, brother? How are you? My man Brock, the one who answers all the questions. Brock, you good. I'm just messing with you, buddies. Thank you for being here and for being a channel member, Brock. Moody Monday, what's going on? Thank you for being here. Let's see. Kia said, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brock, for answering my question. What's going on, Kia? Kia, you just being hazed. Ask Brock how it was. Brock, y'all, Kia has figured the cheat code to my good graces. Appreciate that. But yeah, I'm look, Brock will tell you there was a time when Brock was in the hazing period. And Brock, Brock one of my favorite people now. Musical Mood Ring, how are you? Thank you for being here, for being a channel member. Hey, Unique, how are you? Unique, did you get your box? Let me know. Queen Almighty Peach, how are you? Let's see. I got kind of discombobulated, but I think I'm kind of caught up. QB 1974, what's going on? Thank you for being here, for being a channel member. Sean Roy said royal, like the color. Royal blue? What color is royal? Yeah, I'm from Southwest Atlanta. Sean. Divine Aqua, what's going on? Divine, I could not get on Kick the other night, but I'll try to get on tonight, y'all. Jermaine Celine, how are you? Cherie, don't save them. Thank you for being a channel member. Whew, I think I got everybody. Y'all, people ask me, why do I greet everybody? Well, one, y'all coming in my house. I try to greet everybody who comes into my house, but, excuse me, honestly, one of my favorite streamers, used to be, I haven't been over there in a while, which is the natural matriculation of streamers and live streams. You go in, and that's just life, right? No biggie, take nothing from it. But he used to greet everyone who came in until he got like 200,000 subs, and it's like, it's too many, y'all. And I get it. And I get it. I totally understand. I totally understand. But y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to the Hoodoo and Haints podcast, hosted by yours truly, the Broken Prophet, Papa Lou, the global icon, and the national treasure, the final boss of Hoodoo. I may not be your final teacher, but I guarantee you I will be your final test. When it comes to Hoodoo, our paths will eventually cross. What's up, Wanderlust Earth Angel? Thank you for being a channel member. Didn't that sound good? Y'all can tell I just watched WrestleMania, right? Jermaine, thank you for joining the channel and becoming a channel member. But remember, guys, okay, so let me tell y'all. So, dagnabbit, before we get started with the Hoodoo and Haints podcast, which I think this is going to be an excellent episode, we are going to discuss the Zozo Demon and Ouija boards. I don't want to really get too much into Ouija boards. I feel like y'all know. Hey, Didi, thank you for being a mod and a channel member. I think y'all pretty much know my stance on Ouija boards. Just leave them alone until you get a little bit more time under your belt. Then leave them alone. But there are some that just kind of like, man. And we're going to get into that one. If y'all saw the video earlier, or if you're a channel member, you saw it last week, y'all know which one I'm talking about. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Zozo Demon, or the demon known as Zozo. and we're gonna read a few accounts that I kind of ran across of people who have encountered the Zozo Demon and what makes it unique from other types of spirituality or spiritual entities that people may run into. But first, y'all, let's talk about what grinds my gears. And y'all know I'm a grumpy old man. I'm even grumpier now that I've had, this rotator cuff surgery and I'm in constant pain and agony. But I'm always I find myself scrolling more across the interweb than I used to. And I shouldn't do that. Why didn't y'all tell me, chat? Why didn't y'all tell me that just be like, Prophet, don't go across the internet because it just don't. It's just gonna make you mad. So I was talking to Discord, and so I'm gonna bring the same thing up to you guys. Guys, have you ever, or do you remember being in school and the teacher would assign you, say an essay, and the essay had to be like 500 words or something like that? When you're in school, that sounds like a lot, but some of y'all will text that to me at 6:30 in the morning, right? So it's really not a lot, and the reason they give you that for all my educators who are in here is so that they know that you have a grasp on the material. Because if you have a grasp of the material, then those 500 words are nothing. It's like done, right? But if you don't know anything about it, it is going to grind your gears, right? It's going to grind your gears. You are going to sit there and it's going to, as we say in the country, pain you. It's going to pain you to try and get that essay done. And we all have a friend, or maybe it was y'all, who tries to, as Coco Scissorhands put, add fluff, try to pad the essay with extra words so you can get the word count, and there's actually nothing there that has anything to do with the topic. Y'all will say stuff like I don't care if the essay has to be on hoodoo. It'll be Webster's defines hoodoo as the such and such of such and such and such and such. It may be listed as a noun, but it is often utilized as a verb. A lot of words that is slowly ticking away at that word count, but not saying anything. Some people just go through life like that, right? So I'm reading this post, and this is not the only one. I have seen it like several times, and I'm sure you guys have seen it too, where people will sit there and argue, write these long dissertations on the difference between hoodoo, root work, and conjure. Now, if someone were to ask, hey, Prophet, what's the difference between, I don't know why it's always somebody from my old neighborhood who asks. That's the accent. Prophet, man, what's the difference between hoodoo, root work, and conjure? And then as we got older, man, shout it. What the difference is between hoodoo, root work, and conjure, my knick-knock? And I would tell you, nothing. They're just different words for the same thing, right? Well, we should, I thought that was understood. But over the last 5 years or so, because that's when I started seeing it, people would say, well, root work is just working with the roots and herbs. Conjure is working with the spirits, and hoodoo is something I just have no idea. I have no idea where all this came from. And then I just thought about it today. It's people who have no grasp of the material trying to pad either the comment section or whatever social media platform they are posting to. They're just trying to add fluff. They're trying to pad it. Because in reality, that would be, it wouldn't be a post. But since you've decided to go down that line, now you've got to just add stuff to it. And that's what I tell you guys. When it comes to hoodoo, that is quite frankly the bread and butter of the marketeers. See, they only had so much real hoodoo to go off of. So the rest, they just started padding. Like I've said before, if someone can't dazzle you with their brilliance, they'll try to baffle you with their bullshit. Pardon my salty language. And that's what it is. You know, they add all kinds of stuff. And so a tradition that was very direct, to the point, simple in nature and ingredients, became this thing where now you've got to consecrate a knife. Y'all, how did a slave get a knife for the most? Have any of y'all been to jail? How many knives do they pass out? You go in, you get your soap, you get your toothbrush, and your mat and a towel. That's it. They weren't passing out too many knives down in Rice Street. But now all of a sudden, our ancestors got all these knives. They had so many knives that our ancestors got so many knives that they were able to consecrate one just for root working, just for hoodoo, just for conjure. And I purposely used all three of them. Right? Just for that. Guys, they didn't. They did not. I promise you, they did not. There was no consecration. We worked with what we had and we discarded what we didn't need. It's the difference between. Look, I'm really about to hip y'all to something. See, because y'all know we love some old ancient Japanese culture, right? The difference between a ninja and a samurai. Samurai had the elaborate armor, and they spent years crafting their sword, the katana, right? But see, ninjas were spies. They were assassins. They had to be able to utilize everything around them and discard what they didn't. So their swords were often left. They didn't spend all that time. Their swords were just sharp enough and strong enough to get the job done. And then poof, gone. If I leave you, I leave you. Right? Our ancestors were the same way. We used what we had and what we needed. We discarded the rest. And there was no time to have some. If I did have a knife, because some of y'all in the chat said shanks, because I used the whole jail analogy. All right. If we did have a knife, we had to doggone cut the meat, cut the bread, butter the bread, doggone chop up the vegetables, doggone cut the. What's up, Custom Froze? Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I do appreciate you, brother. We had to utilize that one knife for everything. We couldn't consecrate it and just sit it to the side. We're only going to use that for work. That was one thing that was added. That's just pad. It's just fluff. Another thing was the moon. I know, but that's going to hit some of y'all so hard. Some of y'all are sitting out there going, but I love working with you love the idea of working with the moon and don't do nothing for you. Stop it. And for those of you who say, well, the moon affects water and it draws the tides and we're made out of water, so Prophet, it'd be crazy for you to say that the moon doesn't affect us. It does not affect us. Just because it affects a large body of water does not mean that it affects your small, well, I'm not going to say you small bodied because I don't know. I'm going to say it's not, because if that was the case, every full moon, we'd all have to be put on blood pressure medication. We're not. Stop it. They knew that people love, as somebody put, the spooky pooky connection. So they add everything that's spooky. The moon was one of them, right? We don't do that. That is fluff. There's no moon water. There's no consecrating stuff under the full moon. There's no dancing naked, sacred feminine. No, there's not. Stop. Stop it. Or sacred masculine. A bunch of dudes. Hey man, let's go dance out in the woods naked. Do you? But don't call it hoodoo, my brothers. What are we, 20 minutes in? I'm already canceled? Twice? God almighty. Anyway, you know what? So there's a bunch of stuff that was added because, much like the school analogy, they didn't have enough or a strong enough grasp of the source material. So they decided to make up something that would be just spooky enough to grab your attention and There we go. To grab your attention and sell you more books. Because make no mistake about it, because people get upset when I say that there's not been a good book on Hoodoo written within the last 20 years, except for the two I told you about. Right? Except for the two I told you about. People get upset, but I tell them their job is to sell you more books. They're not actually trying to educate you. That's why y'all have bought so many of them. That's why y'all have bought so many of those books, because they don't teach you anything. Y'all, on the side note, I love when somebody was like, they come to me like with all their titles. Well, I am a Babalawo and I've been here, or I am a grand maiden of my coven for such and such. And I'm like, but yet here we are. Yet here you are asking this old root man how to bring that man back to you. Anyway, we have a t-shirt idea in the chat. Cherie says, that's a t-shirt. Do you? Just don't call it hoodoo. I like it. I saw a t-shirt earlier that said, Gen X, 1965 to 1980, raised on hose water and neglect. I about fell out. Raised on hose water and neglect. Absolutely right. But y'all, let's get into this. Brian Purdy in the chat asks, which two books do I recommend on Hoodoo? It is a book called Hoodoo Voodoo by Jim Haskins. Okay, Hoodoo Voodoo by Jim Haskins. It talks a lot about the culture of hoodoo here in the South. It gives some history of how hoodoo entered the stores, and it gives some sample workings too, which it is what it is. Another is The Secret History of Memphis Hoodoo by Tony Cale. Tony Cale is a white brother. No problem. Hey, it's all good. He never styles himself as a worker. He is a spiritual anthropologist and cultural anthropologist. So he just likes to document stuff. And I knew that he knew what he was talking about. I heard him on this podcast called The Paranormal Podcast. And I heard him, I was like, oh man, that dude white. Contrary to what people may want to believe, you can tell by listening to somebody's voice. So I'm like, that dude white. But then, after a few more, I was like, but he know what he's talking about though. And so I hit him up on Twitter, now X, and turned out he was already following me. So I messaged him, he messaged me back, and I'm like, oh, cool. This dude, he got the respect from somebody, because he, unlike Harry Middleton Hyatt, he was given some real work on hoodoo. And, somebody actually talked to him. So I said, hey, cool. And he's a cool brother. He's a cool traveling brother. So anyway, let's get into the Zozo Demon. Now, y'all give me a second, because, I came prepared, but unfortunately, I came prepared on my laptop, not my desktop. So let me get in here real quick. All right, here we go. So, anyway, no one knows for sure when Zozo started coming through. And when I say through, Zozo comes through on Ouija boards, primarily. That's what we know. Anything else is either doggone, what do they call that? Anecdotes from people that have gone through or are going through. More on that in a minute. And what people have heard about others that have gone through it. But one thing, one thing about me, I have been around these, up and down these spiritual streets, around these spiritual blocks for a minute. And one thing I've learned to do is to look for patterns. not the patterns of things people say they're going through, but the things that they mention. See, when someone recounts a story to you, there's always the build up, the crescendo, and then it kind of trickles off. People are going to tell you all the stuff that will lead you up to what they feel is the exciting part of the story. We all do it. But I'm going to tell you about how I fought the fish and doggone I'm sweating and everything to get you to the point where I reeled in, put my that big mother loving fish, right? But I'm not going to tell you that the boat I was in was blue because I don't feel it's relevant. Those are the details that I look for. The ones that you don't feel are relevant, but I may. Hey, I got to figure out which way to point. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat, Brian. I do appreciate you, brother. So yeah, those are the details that I look for. Okay, and I started seeing a lot of things that people may not have felt were relevant because they're not spiritualists. There are people that bought a Ouija board and thought it'd be cool to play around with. But I, as a spiritualist, I'm like, that's interesting. Because those of you who have been following this channel for a minute, who do we deal with? And we talk about spirits a lot. From John the Conqueror to John Henry. And the spirit of the crossroads, that is not Papa Legba, that is not Elegua, that is not Eshu. They are not the same. Me and my brother can live in the same house, but they don't make us the same person. Okay? We talk about a bunch of different spirits. But spirits all have a common thing, right? We can call them if we have built that relationship and they will come. We can give them license or licencia to depart and they'll leave. Or if we just tell them, I'm done with you, then they'll be like, cool. Hey, somebody else, it's about 1 million more altars down here with my name on it. I'm great. And they'll go. But y'all have heard me say time and time again that there is one class of spirits, because it's not just one particular spirit, but there's one class of spirits that cannot be exorcised, and that is ancestors. Ancestral spirits cannot be exorcised. Why? Because they are not in an altar. They are in the altar of blood and bones. Our blood is their blood. Our bones are their bones. We are them quite literally reborn. Atiqua Alcorn, thank you so much for this $10 super chat. I do appreciate you, family. Thank you so much. You and Brian and Cuts and Froze, thank y'all for y'all support. I do appreciate it. Absolutely. So you cannot exercise an ancestral spirit because we are the altar that they come through. And we have ancestor altars. Absolutely we do. But the first altar before the ancestor altar is us. We are them being reincarnated. We are. And in my travels, I preached that, I talked that. I didn't know I was lying the entire time. Because the one instance that people talk about, but they never mention, I just had to pick it up, is that apparently Zozo is immune to exorcists, is immune to exorcisms, and cannot be forcibly removed. Now I have a big pair of fuzzy wuzzies there, and they are made of steel, stainless, because I'm clean. But not even I feel like trying to tempt that. Because one thing that I have seen throughout all of the different accounts of people that have encountered this demon, not one person has successfully been able to get rid of him when he's latched on. Not a priest, not a spiritualist, not a reader, not a worker has been able to remove Zozo. It's almost as if, like that movie Aliens, where the thing is latched onto their face and they're like, hey, if we get it off, we're going to kill you. Now, I'm not saying it's that type of party, but I am saying that nothing has worked. It's like he laughs in the face of things. People have said all the time, well, if you're scared of whatever comes through a Ouija board, burn it. Zozo laughs at that. And if anything, it makes it worse. It makes it worse. I have not seen one credible account of anyone that has been able to exorcise Zozo. And the issue with that is I didn't even want to say that. And I thought long and hard about putting that part out in this podcast because now there's going to be people out there going, I got rid of Zozo. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. If so, listen, let's pull him up on the Ouija board. And I'm going to let him know, hey, bruh, I don't want no smoke. I'm a global icon and a national treasure, but I don't want no smoke. You got more time in the game than I do, so. And I'm not talking about, my Haitian brothers and sisters, I'm talking about Zozo. So, that, to me, was a little weird. Like, can't get rid of you. The only people who were freed from Zozo are the ones he got bored with and left. Look, some of y'all done had some crushes that like that. You can't get rid of them. You just gotta hope you bore them enough till they leave. What's up, cutting up with Terry? You can't get rid of him. And this is not like some trickster spirit. People love to throw around terminology and things like that. Zozo is not a trickster spirit. Zozo wants to maim, to rend, to tear. But aside from the physical aspects, like he has crashed cars. He has set how fire seems to be a big thing with him. He'll just burn you up. He will do all types of things that will physically harm and or delete you. But aside from that, Zozo likes to play around like I like to hex. Zozo likes to be a cerebral assassin. Zozo likes to let you go to sleep for 5 hours and then wake you up. And then let you go to sleep for 2 minutes and then wake you up. Zozo likes to send you horrible nightmares of those you love in the worst possible predicaments and situations. And he likes to make the dream so vivid that sometimes with the sleep deprivation, you don't know if that really happened or not. Zozo likes to do things like become a disembodied voice that's always in the next room. Always in the next room. Zozo likes to have your loved one wreck their car, but hide your keys so you can't get there. There's a Southern saying, and those of you who are not from the South, y'all know I always say things are Southern sayings just because I've only ever heard them here. Y'all correct me if it's something that if you're not from the South, but you've heard from wherever you're from, right? Zozo says, there's an old Southern saying that, I don't have to run and chase you. I'll walk you down. Zozo walks you down. Zozo walks you down. So if y'all give me a second, I'm going to pull up. Excuse me. I'm going to pull up a story or two, and we're gonna read them. We're gonna read them together. We're gonna read them together. Y'all do not get Brock started in the comments because if you pay Brock too much attention, he wants to put on a comedy show. Brock, bleachers. Y'all give Brock too much attention. This is what happens. All right, hold on a second. I almost found it. Wait. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Right, Brock gonna go on timeout. And it's y'all's fault. Y'all keep on encouraging Brock. Yeah, Brock know I love him. Man, Brock my brother, man. We got off, me and Brock got off kind of rocky. Because I kept saying, Brock, chill out, bro. Look, you good. You good. Just don't touch the grill, Brock. Don't touch the grill. You good. You welcome here. Grab you a plate. You touch the grill, I ain't responsible for what happened. But now, shoot, Brock over there, shoot. I told Brock don't bring his own seasoning, but I let him work the grill now. You know, Brock got that palm colored action going on, but Brock part of the family now. Shoot. I may give Brock hell, but I'd be damned if anybody else do. I'm trying to find it, y'all. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So, this is a story from 2012. Again, we don't know because the Ouija boards are so old. We don't know when Zozo first started to appear, for one. And for two, Zozo, and this is something that my Spanish spiritualists are going to be like, ah! Or, my African folks love them. Tuh. But, y'all, spirits, muertos, they lie. And a lot of people in Santo will think, a muerto will never lie. A muerto cannot lie. A spirit can lie, and they do. And the thing is, here's the issue. Zozo lies all the time. But then he'll tell you some horrible truths. That's part of the fact. He likes to keep you off balance. So you're like, am I really about to pass away tonight in my sleep? Like what? Golly. Anyway, let's start. Let's start this. Okay, so this is from a site by the name of Real Ghost Stories, where you can publish your own paranormal experiences, not your ghost stories. That's r/no sleep in Reddit. No, this is your own paranormal experiences. So this person, all credits go to April O from 2012, says, "Hi, my name is April. I'm 21 and have a story to tell you about the experience I had with the infamous Ouija board. You have heard stories of Zozo the Demon. Well, he is real, and I have read stories on him, but didn't actually think it was true until it happened to me." Isn't that something? We never believe stuff till it happened to us, right? People want to F around, but they don't really want to find out. Everybody want to go to heaven, but don't nobody want dead. So this is the story of how April effed around and found out. 3 months ago, I moved in with my sister, and I had brought a couple of friends over to hang out that evening. We were all smoking a cigarette when I came up with the brilliant idea to play the Ouija board and ask otherworldly spirits questions about the afterlife and questions about the future. Now, I have played the board by myself for many years with little to no negative spirits speaking with me, but this evening was different. See, and that's the thing. You do not use the Ouija board by yourself. It always says that. But anyway, we sat at the table and put our hands on the cursor, the planchet, and moved it clockwise around the board as we said Ouija out loud 3 times. My friends weren't avid believers in the paranormal or using the board from rumors they had heard. I asked, "Is there anyone there?" The cursor moved slowly to yes. "Who are we speaking with?" The cursor repeatedly went from Z to O and continued to do so after the question was asked. That's the thing. So guys, because I know some of y'all going to listen to this podcast, watch this podcast, and y'all are still, excuse me, y'all are still going to go and get you a Ouija board. And I'm not going to stop you. All I'm going to say is, if it goes from Z to O, move it to, and that's how you hang up. Move it to goodbye. From all accounts, in the early stages, you can disconnect from Zozo. Meaning, you move it to goodbye. That's like hanging up a phone. Come on, camera. You slide the planchette down to goodbye, then you leave it alone. Okay? You leave it alone. Early on, you can disconnect from Zozo, right? Early on, you can disconnect from Zozo. You let him get in like a virus, then no, he in too deep. He in too deep. What do you want? It quickly spelled out her. So the person asked, "What do you want?" And then they said, it quickly spelled out her. Who is her? I asked. It spelled out my friend's name, and I was freaked. What do you want with her? It spelled out, I want her, very quickly. The cursor returned to moving from Z to the O yet again, and I was getting annoyed with this because it wouldn't tell me why it wanted my friend. It just spelled out, I want her, repeatedly. My friend, the one the demon wanted, stupidly called him a meow meow, but didn't say meow meow. Just said, Zozo, you meow meow, you. That's gangster. And the board spelled out death. You probably shouldn't have did that. That's when things got bad. I got angry and told her not to provoke him because he was capable of bad things, and I sure as hell didn't want anything happening to my friends. I love how when people tell a story, people talk about, I don't want anything to happen to my friends. You don't want nothing to happen to your tale. Keep it gangster. You want to make it sound like you just have so much love for your friends. You're like, no, stop. Don't want any of my friends getting hurt. No, y'all in my house. Do not be provoking this joke. Y'all in my house. The other friend just sat there freaked out, not speaking the entire time as we continued to ask it questions which I don't recall. The cursor began feeling hot under my fingers, and I asked my friends if they felt it too. They said they did. I asked it another question, but its answer didn't make any sense. It spelled out mama over and over and would not move to any other letters, so I cussed at him because I was getting annoyed. All y'all, both of y'all out of pocket. That's why y'all friends. Y'all both out of pocket. So that's another thing. So Zozo seems to have two aliases. Either Zozo, his main form, or Mama. So he'll either come to you as Zozo, and I'm getting chills, Zozo, or Mama, M-A-M-A-M-A. Sometimes I think that he switches to Mama to kind of like back a little bit. Because he, especially early on, when you hear Mama, assuming you don't have any mother issues, you hear Mama, you think warm, fuzzy. You're like, okay, all right, oh, shoot, okay, whew. All right, Mother Abigail, I got you. So I think because he knows early on that you can disconnect from him, that he tries to change the mood by switching over to Mama. The one friend took his hand off the cursor and refused to play anymore, and the atmosphere immediately changed. I could feel Zozo in the room now, and the air was heavy, and I began to get scared. All of a sudden, I didn't feel like myself. I felt as if something was inside me. I felt the most intense hatred I've ever felt before. I began to laugh hysterically and then cry like I had no control over my emotions. My mood then turned to hatred again, and I turned to look at my friend, the one the demon wanted, with the most evil smile. I felt it inside. It wasn't me smiling, it was this demon. We all stopped playing the board after that, but the heavy feeling in the air and its presence remained. It took a bit before everything felt normal again that night, and I felt like myself, but when it did, I was relieved. I feared for my friend's safety that night, but fortunately none of them experienced anything after leaving. My advice, do not mess with the Ouija board. So, a couple of things here. You know how y'all say unpack. All right, listen, Nick Noggs, come here. Let's have a meeting. Let's have a meeting, okay? Cause I see a lot of you, and I defend everybody because I love everybody. I see a lot of y'all, making fun of the palm colors, okay? But do I have to talk about all these waist beads y'all wearing and shouldn't be showing that waist? Do I gotta talk about that? Do I have to talk about how y'all be like, Prophet, I really need you? I'm like, okay, well, this is how much it's gonna cost, and then you go, all right, well, hold on, I gotta put some money on the card. No, okay, all right. Sometimes we gotta deal out a little bit of humbleness. Why do y'all do that though? I always got to put some money on the card. God almighty. But as y'all like to say, unpack. Let's unpack something here. As a spiritualist, this is something that I've heard from several accounts, and I was like, oh, this right here, is something that I've heard from several different accounts, and it's always someone saying to the effect, "I felt Zozo enter the room." Sometimes, and also, for some reason, the entity is able to take possession. Y'all, not every demon can do that. Not every demon, not every spirit can do that. Okay? And what makes it so odd, is that it does not happen that quickly. When we're talking about non-benign possessions, those of us who practice African traditional religions like voodoo, like Palomayombe, like any of the Orisha traditions, we know that the spirits will sometimes mount us and we can talk, or the spirits can talk through us, right? It's a benign possession. It's a partnership. We invite them, without saying, come on in, but we all know it's something that may happen. And, even though we may be nervous, like before surgery, it's not fearful, okay? But the non-benign possessions, the actual brutal possessions, the demonic possessions, they all start a pattern. Whereas the entity kind of enters the room, it oppresses, it squeezes, it pokes, it prods, it weakens you before it actually is able to get in. And I've said before, we all have our own spiritual alarm system where we can't, be messed with. People will know that you're working on them who don't even believe in hoodoo, don't even believe in anything like that. But they'll know something ain't right. I'll go every time Big Ice come over here with this daggum red velvet cake, I just go to feeling weird. We have a spiritual alarm system, and these demonic entities, they know that. Oh, the commercials are running? Y'all, I did not know commercials were running. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. So, the demonic entities will weaken you. They weaken your defenses so that they can take possession, right? Zozo, for some reason, is able to leapfrog all of that. Y'all, even the high level demons, Belial, Kosi, Azazel, they don't just jump into you. They can't. Look, let me see if I can take that off, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can take this off. Okay. All right. So, it shouldn't be any more ads. There should not be any more ads. My apologies, guys. I did not know that the ads were running during the live. My apologies. All right, so the ads are done. Y'all should not see any more ads after this point. I didn't know monetization was clicked. So, how is Zozo able to leapfrog and go straight to possession? That's one thing. Number two, we have always known that Ouija boards were portals. We've always known that. We have always known that those were the points through which we could either reach through to the spiritual side of things and they could reach over. It's not true reaching through. It's not a doorway. Picture a sheet. Why'd I say a sheep? Like a sheep. Picture a sheet, okay? If I hold up, let's pretend this is a pencil. If I hold a pencil up to a sheet, you can reach through the sheet and grab my hand. You're holding my hand, but you're still on your side. I'm still on my side. The sheet is still the barrier. That is how Ouija boards and things like that work. You don't know what's on the other side. You have no way of knowing what is on the other side. The issue with that is the more we play, the thinner that little piece right there rubs. And eventually there will be some breakage in the quote unquote veil. There'll be some breakage in the veil. People will repeatedly, when they tell stories about Zozo, say, I felt him enter the room. And sometimes when people when folks get into possession or mild possession, they all say the same thing. He's coming. They all say the same thing. And so remember, I told you guys, I listen for patterns. The patterns you don't want, not the ones you really, really want to focus on, but that's what I hear. Everyone seemed to be able to get possessed really, really quickly. And it seemed easily. 2, he can't be exorcised. He just kind of gets tired of you and leaves you alone, hopefully. And 3, he seems to be able to come through to this side. Now, y'all know how I feel about spiritual movies. I absolutely despise spiritual movies. Some of them are entertaining. I hate for what they do to like the spiritual community. Like, I hate what the Skeleton Key did to Hoodoo. I hate what the Serpent and the Rainbow did to Voodoo. I hate what the Believers did to the Ouija practice. It always brings, an encroachment of weirdos to the community. But the one movie that seemed to have some truth to it, because people will watch these weird movies and they may be good. I liked all 3 of those movies, but I didn't like the people that it brought to the spiritual community. I liked all 3 of those movies. But the thing that I don't like is people seem to forget that they're movies, right? They're not documentaries. And so they're not trying to educate you. They're trying to entertain you by going above and beyond. They try to entertain you. So with that being said, I don't look for many truths in spiritual movies, except for this movie by the name of Constantine. It had Keanu Reeves in it. And Keanu Reeves spoke about the original, as he called it, the great detente of the original superpowers. Meaning the agreement. The angels stay in heaven, demons stay in hell. The way that they get things done is by influence, not through direct manipulation, not through direct attack, but influence. Now, are there those who break the rules? Absolutely. People break the rules all the time and sneak through. But for the most part, everyone stays in their respective places. Except for Zozo. Zozo seems to just come on in. Come on in, bring your friends, and come on in. He seems to just come on in. And he seems to show why the original rules were put in place in the first place. Because once he's in, he seems to sit here and go, who gonna check me, boo? And the answer seems to be nobody. Zozo kick in the door, waving the fofo. I was saying, Zozo, don't hit me no more. Or why? What? Do I need to take a break? Do I need to take a break? But that's what he does. And he wreaks havoc. And if you're lucky, he leaves. But do y'all know, and we're going to take our first break. Do y'all know what the average pattern is, you don't hear from those people anymore. They tell their story. They mention that they're still searching for help, and then you don't hear from them anymore. First break, y'all. Be right back. All right, and we are back. Whew, you are back. Anyway, get this together. I'm trying to. So, let me tell y'all what happened. So I'm heeding the doctor's advice. I'm absolutely heeding my doctor's advice, and I wear this. But also, my doctor told me with my rotator cuff that if I'm just chilling at home and if I'm very careful, I can not have my sling on. As long as I don't lift my arm above my head, don't hold anything heavier than a can, and I can do a sound check. There we go. And that's fine. So of course I tried to push the envelope a little bit because he wanted me absolutely to sleep in, and I understand why, because I roll around and not when I sleep. And he didn't want me rolling around and doing something that could injure myself or pull the anchors out of the bone, right? So what did I do? 2 nights I've slept without my sling on because this thing holds heat and I'm hot natured anyway. Listen, spiritual people, let me tell y'all something. You can tell you're spiritually gifted if you run hot natured. All spiritually gifted people run hot or they run very cold. They never just comfortable all the time. You're either always too hot or you're always too cold. It's just a fact of life. There ain't no way around it. Sorry. Blame it on whoever in your bloodline passed the gifts to you. But So this thing holds heat. So I didn't want to have it on. Y'all, my nephew, I was taking a nap today and my nephew was playing around the bed. You know, he's 2, he's jumping on the bed. I can sleep through anything. You know, he doesn't jump on me or anything. Now, he did in the beginning when I first got home from the surgery, but not now. But anyway, I wake up and, he's just chilling. And so I reach over to tickle him just a little bit. Tickle. This joker grabbed my wrist and yanked my arm all the way across my body. Yeah, I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry. I wanted to either cry or throw him against the wall or both. I didn't do neither, but I wanted to do them both. So, yeah. So back in the sling I go. Because something burned in here. And I don't think an anchor came out or anything because it's not that kind of pain. But I'm like, phew. Nah, I'm cool with that. But anyway, so continuing our conversation with Zozo, right? I looked at the fact that he's able to break so many rules of engagement, i.e., jump right to possession. He's able to seem to jump through the veil, for lack of a better term, jump through the veil and come over to our side, and he can't be exorcised. I did some research. Ouch. Darn it. And the funny thing is, I went to my follow up, and Doc was like, you can sit there and type. But I'm like, oh yeah? I have to like sling my wrist up to type. You thought I went in a zone? No, I'm here. Dang. Well, here, I'll tell y'all. I'll tell y'all. I think that Zozo is one of two beings. I think that Zozo is either Azazel, and that's why I wish DP was here because he knows more about demons and stuff like that. But here, when in doubt, go to Google. When in doubt, go to Google, right? All right, so Azazel here is a demon or evil spirit in Jewish legends. During the ancient Yom Kippur ritual, a scapegoat was sent to Azazel to bear the sins of the Jewish people. The high priest would symbolically transfer the sins of the Jewish people to the scapegoat, and that was a ritual. But when you go to the Wikipedia, it says, let's see, let's see, hold on. Lord have mercy. Some say Azazel is a fallen angel. Ooh, wait, hold on. Hold on. All right, so during the late Second Temple period, we're talking about the Second Temple of Solomon, Azazel came to be viewed as a fallen angel responsible for introducing humans to forbidden knowledge. As described in the book of Enoch, his role as a fallen angel partly remains in Christian and Islamic traditions. So, with that being said, when we're talking about Azazel giving knowledge, right? And when we talk about that part and the fact that Zozo, and I don't think I mentioned this, I kind of hinted at it. Zozo loves spilling tea. That's one of the ways in which he gets in good with you, right? He's like, whoa, calm down. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. Listen, let me tell you about your Aunt Tilly. Pamela, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I don't know why it's not playing. I don't know why it's not playing. Y'all know the software does these things from time to time. But thank you so much, Pamela, for the $20 super chat. You are amazing. Hey, Sanaya, how are you? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the party. So, in Hoodoo, we know that a lot of hexes have to be invited in. And y'all invite hexes in all the time by sitting there going, oh my gosh, I think I'm hurt. I think I'm cursed. Yeah, that's you inviting it on in. If someone said, Prophet, I'm about to hex you, I'll be like, I hope you packed the lunch. Woohoo! Listen, do you have, man, is your next of kin, do you have an iPhone? Because you know they have emergency here where it can notify your next of kin. Oh, yeah, because I don't think you want to do that. That's, yeah, calm down. You know, but yeah, just getting all weirded out and worried is inviting it in. Well, the thing is, spirits like that, you invite them in by listening to them. Remember, just giving attention to a spirit powers it up. Just giving it attention powers it up. That's why I hate that these ghost adventure shows go into these places and what's up, Alexis H? Rile up these spirits and then leave because you've shown this thing all this attention. And that's why when a lot of these shows leave the place, the family gets their aces toe up. Because not only are they antagonizing it, they're giving all this attention. The prayer, may the Lord bless you and keep you and make his face to shine upon you. We are acknowledging just one part of spiritual law. That is that if the creator of all just looks at us, he don't have to speak our name. He don't have to say, I love you. He don't have to say, I'm thinking about you. Just the fact that the creator of all, whose eyes are on the sparrow, just looks just solely at you. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Just, you could be looking all through the cosmos, but you're focused right on me. That's a blessing. The spiritual law that they're telling you right there is that acknowledgement, light, as fiat as Luke's, as knowledge, and knowledge is light, is the coin of the spiritual realm. See, the ancient Egyptians knew as long as someone still speaks your name, you will never die. As long as someone still speaks your name, you will never die. That is why whenever a new pharaoh rose to power, he would hire all the chiselers. I don't know if that's the actual term of the people. The chiselers. They go knock his name off. Tink, clink, 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 tink, 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 tink. Just knocking the old pharaoh's name off of everything. Let nobody speak his name again so that he can truly die. Okay? These spirits... No, the more, that's why I tell y'all, go to your ancestor altar, power them up. See, it's not just you putting that cognac on there. It's not just you lighting the candle. It's you acknowledging, you making your face to shine upon them. You are giving them something that they are not getting on that side, and that is the light from over here. You powering them up. You are powering them up. That's why you go to your ancestor altar. But what happens when you give that same juice to a Zozo? See, that's why in instances, not poltergeists, because poltergeists are a totally different animal, but in most hauntings, legitimate hauntings, their goal is not to delete you. Is not to delete you. Like Brock said one time in the chat, they're not going to kill the cow that's giving them the milk. But they're going to poke you, prod you, scare you, because every time they poke you and prod you and scare you, you poof, send out some little spiritual poof, send out some spiritual energy. You sending out a little bit and they're like, ooh, and that's why they get stronger. That's why over time, these hauntings get stronger. Shoot, just us talking about Zozo right now is one, risking drawing his attention, and two, making them stronger. Don't worry, y'all don't have to put in the chat. You don't have to put in the chat. Guys, I hope that everyone watches this video has white light and encompassing them. I see people pray. I'm like, listen, y'all, demons and negative spirits are not digitally transmitted. Y'all good. Y'all good. Just stay away from the dang on Ouija boards and you fine. Because Zozo only comes through Ouija boards. So even though he may be one of the most powerful demonic entities I have ever heard of, he has a crucial weakness. He has a crucial weakness. It's just like my granddaddy used to call scratch offs the lottery. He used to call it the idiot tax because it's a tax you ain't got to pay. You ain't got to pay the tax. Leave it alone. You good. If you stay away from these boards, you don't have to worry about Zozo. Somebody asked, where did the first Ouija boards come from? Okay, they weren't really Ouija boards at the time. They were talking boards. And theory dates them hundreds of years ago, like centuries ago, to monks who lived entire seasons out of the year in silence. And we know that that's where a lot of sign language came from because, yeah, I'm not going to speak, but I still need to communicate with you. So they came up with that. Another thing is in another area, they would put a board down with letters and symbols. And so if I needed to communicate with you and you didn't speak our sign language, I could go, okay, so I just slide it to and spell out what it is I wanted. Well, stories has it that one day they were sitting there with the board and it just started moving. And I can only imagine a bunch of monks with vows of silence and we all got our fingers on the thing because that's how we have a conversation. You moved and I moved and you moved and I moved. I'm sitting there like, and you like, and I'm like, we having a whole argument about who moving the damn thing. Right? We're having a whole argument about who moving the dang on thing. So that's in theory where they theorize that the first Ouija boards came out. The issue that I have with Ouija boards is that they're not marketed as spiritual devices. They're marketed as games. Does anybody remember the original Ouija board game commercial from a little kid? It was always some kids, Ouija, it's just a game, isn't it? I mean, you could buy a Ouija board at Toys R Us, back when there was a Toys R Us. I'm still a Toys R Us kid. The easiest thing is just to leave them alone. Now, there are some safeguards. There are some safeguards, guys. If you are going to use the Ouija board, it tells you flat out how. Every Ouija board known to man or talking board, spirit board, gives you instructions. Now, some of them have elaborate rituals like made by Parker Brothers. Right, sold at Kmart. Natalie said, isn't there a Barbie? There was a Barbie Ouija. One of the Ouija boards I used to have was a Stranger Things Ouija board. Right? Cold Lightning says, the Target I used to work at years ago sold them. There we go. So, I think the Stranger Things one I got from Target. So the thing about that, guys, is you read the book and you follow it. Y'all always trying to circumvent rules and whatnot. A deck of tarot cards comes with meanings. Y'all knickknacks be too lazy to try to memorize them, so I'm just going to read intuitively. Y'all be looking, well, I see on the picture a man got a hoe. So it's telling you need to till your soil. Listen, I'm just kidding. Don't y'all try to cancel me. I know there are some intuitive tarot readers out there that are very good at what they do. But all the Ouija boards will say either white, envision a white light a candle. Some say just, make sure all of them, matter of fact, all of them say don't play by yourself. Don't play with your. Y'all almost got me. Make sure you have someone else there with you. Do not utilize the board alone. Make sure you have a partner with you when you use it. Okay. Now, if you notice, if that in that story that I read, what did that person say? Well, I used to always play with the board by myself. Okay, and all of them say don't do that, right? All of them say do not leave the board without closing it. Remember, I told you to move the planchet down to goodbye. People do that all the time. You don't want to do that, y'all. Don't do that. So follow the instructions. Follow the instructions. Okay? And if at any point it says Zozo, don't. And here, this is the bane of the spiritual community. Y'all folks think y'all so dang on special. So special that you're going to be the one to fix stuff. You're going to be the one when it comes to hoodoo. Like you the Neo of the Matrix. Listen, y'all be so busy trying to think outside the box, you forget all the good ideas that's right in the box. Like the instruction book. Like the instruction book. Follow the instructions. Doggone it. Close the board. And if you see Zozo, don't think you the one that's going to tame them. You ain't about to have a pet demon. You about to have some problems. Now I'm going to read the last two sections because this person had two more sections to their Zozo story. And then we're going to close this episode out. Something wrong with y'all, boy. Okay, here we go. Part 2 by April O. Real Ghost Stories. Zozo, the Ouija Demon, Part 2. So I decided, why not find out if this supposed demon was real and provoke it even further by bringing my friend over yet again to play the board. You know what? You ain't my friend. That's what I tell you. Like, you ain't my friend. You knew we were in danger, and you just decided to have let's just have an experiment. Ain't about to happen. This time I was going to ask it questions about hell and what mama meant. So we went into my room and sat on the floor with the board. Even after my oppression experience from the last session, I was still skeptical. I wanted solid proof of this demon really existing. I mean, come on, we're speaking with this thing through a piece of cardboard. Grease is slick. Right, Cold Lightning. No, we ain't friends no more. So anyways, we started asking questions, two of which stood out the most. I asked, what number are you in the rank, Zozo? The cursor moved 597. If any of y'all know, these numbers, these are powerful numbers when it comes to hoodoo. Hoodoo don't have nothing to do with the rank of demons. I'm just saying these are spiritual numbers. And where is Kia still in here? Because Kia gonna be like, I asked that in Discord and you didn't. Kia, chill. Zozo also told me that he has taken 7 victims and my friend would be the 8th. I also asked Zozo how he was going to kill my friend because he never gave the reason for this, and he spelled out PK9. And I was like, what does that mean? My friend explained this was military code for some type of poisonous gas or something. Is that true? I don't know. Anybody know if that's true? Zozo also mentioned the presence of other demons which were there with him. Mama, Lilith, and Azazel. I was getting freaked out because I read up on Azazel. We talked about that. And found out he was pretty high ranking, but Zozo said he would not speak with us for whatever reason. This session went on for an hour until we finally had enough of his threats of killing my friend, so we closed the board. Later that night, when my friend was driving down US 19, a bad highway which is known for its many deaths and accidents, started to fishtail on her street bike doing 70 miles per hour, but regained control. Thank the Lord he was watching out for her on this night, because if she had lost control of the bike, she would have probably died. I feared Zozo was becoming much stronger, and now feared I would lose my good friend because of this foolish communication with a demon which we shouldn't have been talking to in the first place. A hard head make for a soft face. Now, here's the thing that I want to touch on, because lies have a hint of truth, and some of the truths that we want to believe have a little bit of lie in them. Okay, this is just my theory. And it's not based off of anything other than just me supposing. When she says that Zozo said that Mama, Lilith, and Azazel were with him, I think that they are all just Zozo. Okay? Not Lilith. I think that's the lie that was thrown in there. I think that Zozo and Mama are Azazel. I think that Zozo and Mama are Azazel. We know that some of our, and remember, that's a high-ranking demon. We know that some of our favorite authors will a lot of times publish a book under a pseudonym, right? So it don't get charged to them. If the book sucks, then you won't be like, man, you like, oh, that wasn't me. That was such and such. I think that it's a pseudonym. I honestly feel that those are two aspects of Azazel. I think that Zozo and Mama are two aspects of Azazel. So if he gets caught breaking the original pact, then he can go, that wasn't me, that was Zozo. Now, prophet theory number two. Now, prophet theory number two is that Zozo is actually a personification of the Assyrian god Pazuzu. And if anybody knows, Pazuzu is the demon that came through in that movie, The Exorcist, right? Or is it Mesopotamia? Anyway, Pazuzu is that entity, right? Now hold on. Here, I pulled this up. Let me read this to y'all. In ancient Mesopotamian religion, Pazuzu is a personification of the southwestern wind and held kingship over the Lilu wind demons. As an apotropic entity, he is considered as both a destructive and dangerous wind, but also as a repellent to other demons, one who safeguards the home from their influence. In particular, he protects pregnant women and you ain't no protectors. No, yeah, we know you don't protect nobody, Pazuzu. that don't happen. I don't know who put something on this wiki, but they messed up. But Pazuzu is often used in ritual magic, and he was once so widespread that they're still finding images of his head places, right? Y'all, I need an assistant, because somebody remind me to try to procure a Pazuzu head. Think I found it. Okay. But y'all know y'all can find anything. Y'all can find anything on eBay. All right, here we go. I can find anything on eBay. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm gonna get one of those, and then we're gonna open it up and perform some tests on it live and on stream. But those are just my theories on Zozo. Now the issue with this is sometimes I lean more with Azazel being Zozo. Sometimes I lean more with Pazuzu being Zozo. Like for instance, I feel like any spirit other than an ancestor can be exorcised as long as you know the means. With Pazuzu being a spirit from Mesopotamia, who knows what it takes? That's so long ago, right? That's so long ago. Who knows what it takes for Pazuzu to be exorcised, right? And to be honest, y'all want to hear the truth about exorcisms? Y'all want to know the truth? Lean in close, because this is a secret. I only want the 82 people that are here to hear this. This is a secret. It's all voluntary on the spirit's part. It's all voluntary. See, spirits are smarter than us. That's why. Have you ever wondered why white sage will work on some spirits but not on others? If they're all spirits, shouldn't it work across the board? Something that knocks me out and deletes me will delete Brock, will delete Pamela, will delete Natalie, will delete Sean, Kia. It knocks us out across the board. Right? Bullets knock us out across the board. But when it comes to spirits, one thing works for one, but it doesn't work for the other one. It's all voluntary. I want y'all to hear me out. Hear me well. The only difference between the different spirits is the culture in which they come from, right? The culture in which they come from. So if you were to talk to, say, a Native American, they'll tell you white sage. It works, right? If you were to talk to, somebody from like the DR or Haiti, then it's, rum and give offerings. That works. If you were to talk to people from the Middle East, then it's like, okay, frankincense and myrrh gets rid of them. But it works on some, but not for others. It's because of the culture. We all grew up with the understanding that if we drink cyanide, what will happen? We know what will happen. And we don't have to be told. We have all grown up knowing if we ingest cyanide, what will happen? We'll go to the upper room with Jesus. We don't have to be told that. We know that's what's going to happen, right? What if this entire time we all been immune to it for the last 10 years? Who's going to be the first to try it out? Not me. So when I cross over and someone says, Prophet, you either leave here, I'm going to break out this spiritual cyanide. I'm going to go, whoa, I don't want no smoke. I'm leaving. Cool. I don't want to try it out. I don't want to be extra dead. I'm gone. Right? I don't have to try it out. So if in your culture, you grew up hearing that white sage will get you out of there, when you cross over and become a spirit and you causing a little ruckus and someone breaks out the sage bundle, you gonna go, oh, whoa, hold on. I remember since I was an itty bitty little whipper to a full grown snapper what that white sage do. Listen, I'm already dead. I don't need you to take me to the upper room of the upper room. I'm gone. Oops, sorry. I just dug up my nose. It was itching. I was not digging up my nose just then. It was itching. That was a scratch. Scratches are perfectly okay. Picking up your nose in front of people is disgusting. But if you scratch it, that's okay. Those are the rules. So it's cultural. What if Zozo is actually Pazuzu? Mesopotamia was so long ago, we don't know the culture, the cultural relevance that will allow us to effectively exorcise him. What if it was something so simple like, oh, Pazuzu, all you have to do is sprinkle water 3 times in the air and spin around 4 times. Ain't none of us from ancient Mesopotamia, so we don't know that. Didi said didn't know there was rules for mochos. Yeah, those are the mochos rules. It was just a scratch. Right. Seinfeld. It was just a scratch. You know, and since right, okay, an ancestral life blog said that oil and holy water, right? Remember what I just said? It's cultural. Since, you know, Judaism and Christianity and whatnot have spread so far, and we don't. And if I have any Muslim brothers and sisters in here, I mean, y'all wear oils. Is there any like spiritual significance to the oils that y'all wear? But I know in the Bible, you know, we got oil and holy water, right? We have oil and holy water. So with that being said, oil and holy water being cultural, when we do cross over, it's like, shoot, he done broke out that holy water, man. I don't want that shit to burn me. And another ghost sitting next to you going, have you ever been hit with it? No, but I done seen enough movies. I ain't about to get burnt up. I'm gone. So to me, I feel like the key to defeating Zozo is to find the culturally relevant exorcism for him. Because it's obvious that no one from around here knows what it is. Make sense? I mean, it makes sense to me. Chanel Brown said, go blow your nose. Chanel, you got kids? Because that's something my mama would say. Go blow your nose. Yeah, the pollen killing me, y'all. But anyway, guys, look here. Tonight, I'm going to try my best. Because it's 10 o'clock now. I'm going to try my best around 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 2.5 hours from now, to go on to kick.com. That's KICK.com, not KIK. KICK.com, so that we can finish the story. If you guys do not know, we have been watching a story of a content creator, an influencer who went to, I won't say a Diddy party, but went to, like, say, an Illuminati party where he saw people doing things, doing weird things. And it's just like, he's just telling his story about how when he left because he didn't feel comfortable seeing those things, that they just started really, really doing some things in his life. They started gang stalking, doing weird things that were, you know, that to the outsider would seem like he was crazy, but he wasn't. He knew that it was these people. Now his friends who stayed in the party, because when he saw what they were doing in the party, he said, nah, I'm peacing out. And he left. His friends who stayed, they started to blow up. Like, their channels started to blow up. Because as he put it in the thing, people, you know, have got to realize that it's old Hollywood and new Hollywood, right? Old Hollywood and new Hollywood. So we are in the new Hollywood stage. Some of y'all are part of new Hollywood. but we're going to go over there. We're going to check it out. We're going to finish the story. So I'm going to put my, ouch, if I can get my hand up on the thing, https://www.kick.com/thebrokenprophet. As always, somebody do me a favor and check the link for me. Somebody do me a favor and check the link. And let me know if that is if that works. Follow me over there. Download the app. Guys, I know y'all like Prophet, we tired of all these apps. But the thing about the Kick app is it's like better at giving your notifications out than YouTube. YouTube sometimes will slip and not give y'all notifications. This one Kick will give y'all notifications. All right, guys. So with that being said, thank you guys so much. Oh, listen, we still have some seats left. We still, y'all, we almost hit 100 tonight. We almost hit 100. Make sure when we go live, y'all share. Y'all share this thing. Tell everybody, listen, come on here and hear some hoodoo truths. But anyway, we still have some seats, guys, for this upcoming webinar, this upcoming Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, there are no more seats. Oh shoot, Brock. Appreciate it, Brock. Thank you so much, brother. There are no more seats that include the bone sets. Okay, and all right, the link works, guys. So click the link. Let me go ahead and pin it to the top. There, it's not pinned to the top. Go ahead and follow over there. So putting those bone kits together, that was a labor. Okay, as a labor, y'all will start to get your notifications tonight, and they will definitely be there by Tuesday. Okay, they'll definitely be there by Tuesday. I'm thinking about making the bone reading sets a permanent item, but I have to make sure that I'll be able to source everything that goes into them. Okay, let's see. This webinar is a mini boot camp. So what you can't do hoodoo without some form of divination. You can't. So night 1, we're going to do how to read bones. If you do not have a bone kit, a bone set from me, I will show you how to do it with chicken bones. Just go buy you a rotisserie chicken. Just get you a rotisserie chicken, tear it up, and then, put it together. You'll be good to go. All right. And then we'll go into oils, powders, Bible, prayer, stuff like that over the rest of night 1 into night 2. It'll be Tuesday and Wednesday. If you are not able to catch it live, do not worry. It will be recorded, and you will have access to every night at the end of the recording. Period. Okay? All right. So with that being said, listen, channel members, you guys are going to have access to this live immediately. That's a perk for being a channel member. The rest of you, feel free to search for the Hoodoo and Haints podcast wherever your favorite podcasts are distributed. I'm on Apple Podcasts. I'm on iHeartRadio. A bunch of places. And you will get the audio version of it. Or over there on Patreon. I'm going to put it over there too. All right. So that being said, thank you guys so much. Y'all absolutely amazing. Thanks each and every one of you. I wanted to acknowledge everybody. If I didn't, charge it to the head, not to the heart. And I will absolutely acknowledge you next time, like you, Southern girl, who said, one night while burning white sage, I saw the scariest demon I ever seen. Looked like the swamp demon of the South. He reached out one hand towards me. And then you woke up. Scary dream. I got you. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I'm out of here. Profit out.